Oh, yeah, ladies and gentlemen, beaming into reality with the tech only NASA can provide. It's the Shills with the Silly Shill Show Friday night edition. We've got some amazing stupid lined up, but first, who's joined us on the panel? We've got a man who takes stupid by the tail and slaps it around like a dead cat in a weird bungalow. We've got In the Conspiracy, and joining us as guest Shill sitting in with the panel, we've got the one and only Casual Spaceman. So
yeah, man.
What are we doing tonight? Well, we've got YouTube channel Dearth, the ISS versus Wandering Stars. Oh, I'm sure that's going to be a battle to remember. And for video 2, we've got A Plain Truth for You, video titled The Freemasons' Invention of Baseball. Brendan,
you're welcome.
Daddy, what the hell are you doing?
Tatty man's trying to fucking drive us insane, I think.
Yeah, he's gonna kill us. I swear to God, he's gonna kill us. So we better get around the room because we got a huge table full tonight. We'll see what everybody's up to, and then the stupid hunting we will go. Why don't we start at the top of my list with somebody who always knows what they're talking about? AB Science, how you doing, buddy?
Me always know what I'm talking about.
Hey, I'm giving you the benefit of the doubt here.
Bollocks.
I'm a
I've
fucking
been
idiot.
pissed with him. He doesn't always know what he's talking about at all.
Yeah, I'm doing well. I've just had a bit of a weird one last night with more theory or hypothesis coming out, and it was a bit of a double bill there, and it was a hoot. More coming up on that.
Can't wait. I can't wait. It's really good series because you are the perfect guy to be taking him on. Like, absolutely, your background and all, it's amazing.
Well, he talks completely and utter shit. It's I'll give a little bit away, but you know, he does talk about how there's this particular kind of thing called a quasi-particle, and it's called a skyrmion. And it is very interesting little objects, but he's talking about how they don't exist, but he keeps on showing them on the screen, saying that this is real, this is something that really, you know, happens, and this is what describes a magnet. And you look at the diagram and you just go, no, mate, that's a skyrmion, and remember how you said they don't exist.
Oh, I can't wait for part 2. That's going to be awesome. And we've got Bullinator. Bull, how's it going tonight, buddy?
It's going pretty good. How are you all tonight?
Oh, excellent. Ready to have some good fun. Anything cool and new in your world, or just some more YouTube crazy?
Just the YouTube crazy that comes with me. And I apologize for bringing it on you all. I feel like it's kind of like my fault, but I know it's not, because we have to blame the right person.
Oh, you do indeed. You do indeed. We took our little
the Illuminati.
Yeah, we took our look into that world and we decided no, it's not for us at all, man. Never again. That's amazing. But yeah, it's awesome to have you here again, buddy. And who else is on the list here? Get that list open again. Jesus Christ. Jutmonkthedrunk Monkey.
Oi, fucking oi.
How you doing, brother?
Fucking sound, bruv. Innit? I'm here, ain't I? Fucking hell, man. I've kicked them fucking chairs over again just to piss everyone off. And, yeah, man.
All right. Awesome. And we've got everyone's favorite head in a jar, Kevin Kennedy.
I've just pissed in his jar.
Hello, freak bitches. Fuck you, monkey. I'm dying. I'm slowly fading away here, but I made it to the stream, so I'll do my best to be relatively coherent.
All right. Well, we'll turn we're gonna turn the stupid up to 11 to try to help give you the energy.
And Phil Blacka, I do see your new icon. Looks awesome, dude.
Oh, that's why I wasn't picking him out from Yeah, that is really good. Awesome job, Phil. Killer. And somebody who knows about an awesome job because he does it every time he touches the tabs. Sarcastic Barman. How you doing, buddy?
I'm good, thanks, Squire. How's it all going with you?
Awesome day here. My son's homeschooling went fantastic. Cloud9 type stuff, and I'm here with my family to kill some stupid. How could things be any better?
Sounds fucking awesome, to be fair.
So what's new your way? How are you?
Oh, not much. Been busy with pub work this week, so we've blitz cleaned the pub, ready for the season coming up. We've got new menus, loads of posters, booking artists for gigs. So unfortunately, I've done nothing on YouTube this week, but hopefully I've got something really cool planned for next week. So they're going to have to keep their eyes out for that. And it
Awesome.
the idea in my head seems really funny. It might turn out to be shite, but whatever.
No, we believe you. Watch this space, everybody. Absolutely. And joining us is the guy who has all the time in the world right now. We've got Steven Cup-A-Reason. How's it going, buddy?
Yeah, it's going great, man. Day one of 2 glorious weeks of freedom.
Oh, I bet you're just reveling in it. You and that lovely lady of yours got some time set aside. You're going to go have some fun, enjoy life?
Oh, of course we will. Of course we will. But, you know, I always got to save some time for my good friends, the Shills.
Oh, yeah.
Family's family, man.
Exactly. That's how it is here. I can't wait. This is going to be a great one tonight. And speaking of tonight, let's check in with the guy who set up this crapshoot of a video. Fucking, what do you call it? Not a crapshoot. Maybe like pheasant hunting? That's probably appropriate. Daddy, how's it going, buddy?
Torture.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not the pheasant plucker. I'm the pheasant plucker's son. And I'm only talking pheasants till the pheasant plucker comes. Oh, yes.
Well, how much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood?
Yeah, right. That was good, Daddy. How's things going your way, buddy?
Oh, things are wonderful, mate. Absolutely wonderful. Swimming along nicely. Rather proud of the videos that we've come up with. I have to, once again, tip a wee note to my man Colin for pointing me in the direction of one of them. And
Colin again, eh? I just saw his name in the damn chat too. You, Colin, you.
Colin, remember, Colin, you made the mistake of telling us you have things to lose.
That's awesome.
Poker chips.
And let's check in with our guest shill tonight, the absolutely laid back and chill, casual spaceman. How you doing, buddy?
Hey, I'm doing good. Not always so laid back. Sometimes I get triggered. I try not to be, but yeah.
That was actually sarcastic because you're usually hot on the heels of stupid, to be honest.
Well, not so much on my channel, but yeah, I spend a lot of time with Aussie Perspective. I'm sure you've heard of them. Of course you have.
Yes. I've been on a few times for myself. I love Kiri.
So we've been debunking some stupid recently, and we've been doing a bit of Riley, you know, with his view of these oil rigs. I'm sure some of you already seen it. So yeah, it's been a lot of fun. We've been helping Big Blue sort of get us all these facts together and all the information together. So yeah, it's a great lot of fun. So it's always good busting Riley though, isn't it? It's always going to be good fun.
Awesome. Sounds great, man. Awesome. And our special guest this evening, the man who always has a plan and the conspiracy. Welcome back, buddy. How you doing?
I'm good, man. Been busy week.
Has it real life or on the interwebs?
On the interwebs. I co-hosted the new show, The Daily Atheist, all week.
Nice.
And I did, and then tonight, this show right now, since midnight last night, my time, this is my 6th stream I've been on today.
Holy.
Wow.
Yeah,
Ooh,
wow,
hardcore.
man.
Yeah. But I do want to give a shout out because I keep forgetting. Colin in the chat is the gentleman who drew up the icon, the little avatar for Tony Hammer.
I'll tell you what, Colin
wow.
is an absolute legend.
He gets
Isn't
out,
he not?
doesn't he?
Everybody, Colin is a legend. I love that geezer. He's done a lot for so many people.
Absolutely, man.
Big respect.
Absolutely.
Big respect.
Completely
to that
stand
man.
up in the community. Holy huge,
Yeah,
right?
and I'm
And I'm
Absolutely.
getting that man a drink.
Yeah. So everybody in the chat, clap, Colin, please. We want big clap.
Well, and while we're doing a clap, I want to give a big shout out to our own Bull here because we threw him into the fire hard with like a 10-minute warning to do an impromptu live stream, and he kicked ass and took names. So let's hear it for Bull. All right. Bull.
Thank you very much.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, man.
That was not easy. What he pulled off last night, man. I'll tell you. Well
Oh
played, sir.
yeah, like yeah, and you know, because it's when you're not set, like we had never even built a show with Boole yet, and it was all of a sudden, boom, here you go, and he had it. It was awesome. Woohoo!
It's one hell of a
well
team,
done.
really, isn't it? We've got right now the Shills. We're fucking rocking.
Loving it. So let's go over and see what we're looking at. Our first video this evening is YouTube channel Dearth. I mean, right there, doesn't that say it all? Dearth.
Oh, yes. Yes. Oh, is that the one that says deep, stand for deep in the rabbit hole? Is it that one? That's what it stands for, isn't it?
Jesus. Hold on, guys. I totally fucked up and didn't intro Aimee here. Holy shit. I'm the idiot. Oh, my God. Sorry, Aimee. Aimee.
Kick him in the balls, Aimee.
That's right. I was thinking, what did I do?
Oh, no, you got lost in the soul of my screen is what happened. Oh, right. Sorry. Hi, Aimee. How's it going?
Okay.
Don't kill me.
Okay, no, I won't kill you yet. I'm great, thank you. I'm all excited. Felix is doing great on his lessons. Matthew's going next week to the Special Olympics, and I'm so excited.
Oh, cool.
And we get a 3-day holiday for it. I'm so excited.
Oh yeah.
So I'm very excited about that, and I'm also ready to trounce some. Thank you. He's going for cross country skiing, so let's hope for some medals, please.
Oh yeah.
Good luck, buddy. If you listen,
Thank
Cross
you.
country. Cross country is some workout. I used to do that when I was younger. It's a workout.
Yes.
Sure is.
It is a workout, and he does it, and no complaints. He just wants to make sure that he can see me, and as soon as he can, off he goes, and he's awesome. So I can't wait. This year.
Awesome. Oh, I can't
Thank
wait.
you.
I hope he
And
kicks
thank
some
you.
serious chill ass.
No, he will, because he's Matthew, so he's going to do it for Mama too.
Nice. Right
Thank
on.
you. I want to thank our guests for coming. Thank you, Casual Spaceman, for coming on, and thank you, and the Conspiracy for coming on as well. Thank you so much, the both of you. I appreciate it. And we did, thank you. And we did get a super chat from Kuyasa for
That's right.
5,000 South Korean won, just here to pay my Shills tax.
Thanks,
you.
Kawasa. That's awesome. Thanks. I like that. That's funny too. Okay, so now that my fuck up has been completely fixed and we can actually get on with something that we're supposed to do correctly this time. Now, this one is a submission from Colin. It says it right here in the show notes. So, if anybody wants to say, wow, you guys are really killing it, give him some credit too. So this is Dearth. Again, Dearth. Who likes derp? Dearth. You know what I mean? It just sounds stupid.
Can I
the
point out?
ISS.
Everybody says his name wrong, and I'm perfectly fine with it because it's actually DITRH. It's Dith. It
stands for deep in the rabbit hole. Apparently, that's what it stands for.
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
I mean, I mean, basically,
It's not
you should
written
just
here,
say
so-
prick.
So yeah, and this one is the ISS versus Wandering Stars. So I'm sure there's going to be some bullshit claim of proof that even a 10-year-old in an armchair in their underwear could figure out is wrong.
But can I just say before we go, wandering stars is what they used to call planets, wasn't it? They were wandering stars because
That's exactly what the word means. Yeah.
So he's saying the ISS versus the other planets of the solar system. Is that the video? Okay, cool. This is going to be really good.
Well, something tells me he's going to compare the retrograde motion of the planets to the sine wave orbit that you see if you look at the ISS orbit on a flat representation of the orbit. And it's not because the Earth is flat, because it's not flat.
Is it not?
No.
I think it's inclined about 35 degrees or something around there at Boole, isn't it, or something like
I mean,
that?
come on, guys.
The dragon.
We could just fucking watch it and find out what it's about.
Yeah, let's watch it and find out.
But can I just say,
it never crossed the balls.
can I just say, I mean, the Earth is flat in places, but it's still on a fucking globe.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So let's
level and
crack on with the
flat ain't the
video.
same thing.
No, but it is flat.
No. There we go.
There we fucking go.
I know where you're going there, Dick.
Lights in the sky.
Except for when you hit the equator and start going south.
Yeah, exactly.
Like they just
try moving.
They love to just ignore the second fucking pole. There is no working way that stars rotating around two fixed points works on a flat disk. It just doesn't.
And the thing is, Kevin, you say that, but also it's like, well, they did. I mean, why are there flat earthers in Australia or anywhere in the southern hemisphere?
Yeah,
Because
I
they
don't
need
get
the,
it.
They need the map in the completely opposite fucking way for it to work for them as well. I mean, what the fuck? Oh my god! I'm
Somebody
already
needs to.
wound up. Please,
Somebody
someone
needs to
just-
tell this dumb fuck. It's not the stars that are spinning. It's us, you fucking moron.
No, Dead Kennedy, buddy.
Well, and he's also ignoring, because Mr. Victory just pointed this out, until you start using a telescope and you can see Jupiter and the Galilean moons and you can see them rotate around it, you can see the shadows cast on Jupiter, you can see Jupiter rotate. If you got the right solar filter, you can see the sun rotate, you can see Saturn, and you can see the shadow of Saturn being cast on the rings, almost as though it's a three-dimensional object.
Exactly, Kevin. You know what? It's you cannot see when you look at Saturn and the ring and the shadow. You can see it's a fucking sphere. You know, if you can't see it through a telescope on any other fucking planet, but like Saturn looks like a sphere because, well, they all are anyway. For fuck's sake. But I mean, that shadow. I mean, come on. What is wrong with you, bunch of stupid fuckwits?
Even without binocular vision, when you're looking through like a telescope, I myself have a Newtonian, a reflector, a 6-inch, right?
Yeah.
And if I've got like if I've got like a 2x Barlow with like an 8 eyepiece or a 10 eyepiece on it or something like that, I can clearly see the rings of Saturn going around the planet. You can see the depth in it. It's very easy to perceive. Amy's up with a few comments here.
Yeah, I actually just have a super chat for right now. It's $5 Australian from John Rapp. He says, "My turn. Good day, panel. good in chat. To each and everyone. Good on you, mate. Enough said. Carry on." Thank you.
Thanks, John.
Can I just say, I think John Rapp actually rocks. I mean, he appears everywhere, and he's a Queenslander. I don't know if you know about Queensland, and they're a tough bunch. They have to deal with floods during the winter time, and now they're dealing with fires. And they're dealing with tough conditions all the time. So yeah, he's another tough Queensland cookie.
Well,
really, he's a great guy.
John Rapp's a big supporter of this channel. So thank
Absolutely.
you very much, sir, because you've been very generous towards us.
Yeah, and very engaging in the conversation as well. He's always like somebody that's really in the chat engaging. So you know, all around, like fantastic guy.
Yeah.
And also, if I could just say to John Rapp, if you know of any charities or anything that online where we can donate to help all those in Australia, just post it in the chat for us.
Good idea. Awesome. Good shout, man. Good shout.
Absolutely. Well, good idea.
Yeah, we do the shilling after all, right? You know, come on.
That is what we are, man.
Yeah. What do you think, Tatty? Okay, I put my bid on 8 seconds. Who wants to gamble here? I say it's a pause in 8 seconds.
By the looks of it, it sounds bad. I think Colin is saying that you would think that we are trying to avoid watching the video.
I'm just gonna say I'm not gonna say pause because I know someone else will do it quickly anyway. So
I'm betting Dead Kennedy in Space within 6 seconds is going to say pause. I'm betting that.
All right, there we go.
I will not
we
take that bet.
And before we,
I give it 4. I give it 4.
There we go. 4. And John Rapp again for another Australian $2. Thank you so much, John. He said Sydney actually, but thank you.
Ah.
I thought he was a Queenslander. Maybe I'm getting mixed up then, perhaps. I don't know.
Yeah, he's more of an opera guy then, maybe. Who knows?
Yeah.
Oh, for fuck's sake, Spaceman. You're such a
I know. I'm
dork
sorry. I got it
sometimes,
wrong. I
mate.
know. I know.
Fucking hell.
I know.
Go home.
Pillock play. Roll the video, Tatty. Idiot playing with spirograph. What the fuck?
I was just gonna say that, you fucking dick.
Sorry, buddy.
Yeah, when did the universe turn into spirograph? Exactly right, man.
Yeah.
Fuck.
It's very pretty, but it's not
I
right.
had one of those as a kid, with the coloured pencils, and you cut around the cogs, didn't you? And you get those sort of patterns as well. I mean, for Christ's sake, what's the energy that's making these planets do that kind of ridiculous orbit? I mean, fucking grow up.
Well, the thing is, I just want to know who won the bet, because you see, I know the video started playing again and I got up and I thought I'll quickly walk to the fridge and get myself a beer. Now, from where I'm normally sitting, the fridge is about 2 meters away.
Jeff spoke before me. Yeah, it was Jeff's fault. He spoke before me.
I would have put money on it to be Dead Kennedy. That's insane. That's crazy.
Well, I have the opportunity now that I I didn't speak up, so nobody won. Can I point out, he's ignoring things like the discoveries of Neptune and Pluto, which we are only able to predict their orbits because of the gravitational influence of other planets in the solar system.
Exactly.
He's ignoring the cause of the orbits.
Yeah.
Not only that, but we even predicted another planet because of gravity. I mean, for fuck's sake.
It's crazy, man. Barman's up.
Because we're talking about gravity, Kevin, you've got to do it.
Oh yeah.
All right. Gravity, you fucking retard! Gravity! You ever heard of fucking gravity? Gravity! Gravity!
Gravity!
Love it.
That never gets. That never gets.
No, it
He does that
doesn't.
so perfectly.
Kevin, don't your neighbours ever complain, Kevin? That's great
My
that they
uncle's in
don't.
the other room. I'm sure he thinks I'm completely insane.
You're right.
Your Phuket word is always my favorite one, though.
Oh, he does that good.
Oh, do I have to bust that one out too?
Come on.
Do it.
Hello, Globus researchers, debaters, and debunkers.
Oh, that calls for a
just
round
scary.
of cows, everybody.
I just hope you don't fucking do bay, my man, or I'm gonna run and flush my own head down the fucking toilet.
300 proofs the Earth is not a spinning
Quick, press play before we all die. Do more.
I think that's payback for pissing in his jar. Yeah. Daddy, save us. Kick that fucking shit in, will you? Did any of that have to do with the ISS? What the living
So I'm gonna send Tatty a picture really quickly if he's able to pull it up on screen. Are you able to, Tatty?
Yep, Chuck's in Discord. I'll grab it.
I've used it before. I'm DMing it to you on Discord, but we can confirm that it's much more than a light in the sky. We can see the solar panels. We can see the general shape of it. People can see. People have been able to see little bumps that match the locations of astronauts doing EVAs, and we can see approaching shuttlecraft. And that's what I want to show the stream.
It's a drone with ants on it.
Don't forget, space rats are up there.
Oh yeah, the space rat was amazing.
But apparently, they do have some mice on there at the moment. So a big stretch.
Right? Do they have little space suits?
What's that, Tatty?
Very rough cut, but there you go.
Yeah, there's a beautiful solar transit of the ISS where we can see, I believe that is the shuttle, it's either Atlantis or Discovery approaching the ISS to dock.
Yeah, that's amazing.
That is not a light in the sky. That is a physical object, and if you do some basic parallax measurements, you can even figure out its altitude and its speed.
Does my head in. It does my head in the fact that this thing is actually happening. They could fucking make the effort and, obviously not all do it as one person, but get together and go, okay, right, we'll fucking track this thing. They could go and watch a launch, get the equipment, track the fucking thing all the way there. It's not hard to fucking prove it for yourself that it is actually really happening. So you stupid fucking dumb idiots that want to try and deny the fact that there's a fucking space station orbiting our fucking globe and that they are sending fucking rockets to it. If you ain't got the fucking brain power to just do a little bit of research, buy a little bit of fucking equipment, you can fucking see it for yourself, you stupid fucking retarded fuck stains.
Guys, for the 100th time, when we have images and video up on the screen, we can barely be heard on the stream.
Yeah.
Oh.
Just sorting that out.
Okay. No, it's not that. It's just we keep forgetting that, and it's always the same. They barely heard you.
No, they didn't hear any of that, Monkey. Barely heard you.
I think the whole planet heard that.
Well, I'll tell you what, Lukey boy fucking next door probably heard it.
I mean, we've got well-known creators. I mean, a certain Red's Rhetoric has actually tracked an ISS transitioning in front of the moon. We've actually had people actually doing it, and they still keep saying it's fake.
I know. Pisses me off. That's my point.
Even did
it's not hard to actually just fucking prove it to yourself. Instead of just going deny.
Yeah.
And Reds is the one who posted the parallax measurements of it because he and Astronomy Live both took the same transit from different locations.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I was just going to say that as well. And it's quite strange, isn't it, that we can actually predict exactly where it's going to be at any given point.
Yes.
And I'd like to know if there's any single flat Earth predictor that can predict events like this. There isn't a single one out there, not one. Who's that guy that did that stupid flat Earth clock? What's his name? It's an app, isn't it, or something? Clock.
Yes.
And it doesn't even work because people have actually debunked it. They said, "Well, hang on a minute. It should be daylight here, and it's dark. What the hell's going on?"
Yes, that's right.
Work.
There's areas where it would have to on their map, obviously during the when it's daylight in the South Pole, basically it'd have to the sunlight would have to wrap around the fucking Earth, not fucking go anywhere near. I was like, what the fuck? That makes no sense, you stupid thick shits.
We can predict solar eclipses, we can predict lunar eclipses, we can predict all kinds of different events, and those things can only happen on a globe. Happen on a globe, no other time.
Yeah, I mean, and you get people like fucking fuckstain word that say, yeah, but obviously they predicted it back then with enough observation and just but okay, but with the predictive powers we have now, forget that shit. We're talking about now. We can predict them thousands of years ahead, for fuck's sake. You do it, you dick. Go on. Predict the next 5. without fucking looking on the internet, get your map, fucking stick it on your bed, get your torch and your fucking, your candle and a few lighters and your camera. Just do some shit and predict the next fucking eclipse.
Jutmonk, you fucking dork. It's called a flashlight.
Flashlight, Uranus, fucking Kevin, my friend.
Oh, let's have some more video. Christ alight.
Yeah, let's do
good
it.
idea.
Can we get at
Good
least
idea. The
30
barman
seconds
speaks
as
before
well?
he calls time and rings the bell.
Yeah. Well, I called time that we need at least 30 seconds. Because otherwise we'll be here all night.
I think we need some more stupid.
Okay, Spaceman. Very important. Your compression is too high.
Okay.
All right, so we're getting every breath you take.
Do you know what? This is beginning to like. I mean, this is like play school, right? But I don't know if any of you have seen that Scientifically.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
God, yes.
And he does that. Yeah. You know what I'm talking about, the electric. And do you know that's kind of like a little undercurrent I have actually sort of noticed is gaining a little bit of momentum. You know, this electric universe and these patterns that. I mean, AB, you probably could explain it better than I, but you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, so the electric universe, that's the kind of the side of the fringe nutters that is the more intellectual side, and they gain a lot of credibility because on the let's say the better end or the more informed end of the electric universe. There are people there who actually are good at things like mathematics and stuff like that, and they can construct good arguments. There's a paper that Gleam likes to push around, like talking about, where he says in the paper they talk about the fundamental constant G. And they go, yeah, we can show that this is electrical in nature because we can take this whole mathematical thing and they provide a theoretical derivation for the value for G.
Right.
And I have this wonderful argument, and from start to finish, it is pretty solid. But at the finish line, their theoretical derivation is extremely far from the experimentally confirmed values. But the biggest problem is that at the start, they treat two electrons spaced 1 meter apart from each other as a capacitor. Which you cannot do.
That's not what a capacitor is. I can tell you that right now.
It's just fucking ridiculous. But
But
they have this assumption which is wrong, and I have a conclusion which actually doesn't match. But in that whole process, in that whole paper, the maths actually checks out, and it is a fine example of demonstrating it's like, well, if your maths is correct, then that's great, but that is under the provision that your underlying assumptions are correct.
But there's
and this
also
is the more smart end of it, and this is what they pick up on. It's because this looks all credible, and these guys get together. Now, this is the extreme end, and this is the really kind of the really smart end of the electric universe people.
Yeah.
But on the other side, you have numbnuts like fucking Ken Wheeler, who will just say something, and I've been getting a bit trolled by certain individuals on the channel because of this. But their approach, it's all big words and lovely words, and it all sounds like really impressive and complicated until you think about it. But the thing do not do scientific method, because to draw a parallel, what they're saying is like it is incoherent dielectric acceleration, whatever the fuck that means. That is what makes stuff fall.
Yeah, they don't believe in gravity, do they?
They don't believe in gravity. No. But they'll say, it's incoherent dielectric acceleration, and they'll say so that's what makes things fall. And then their scientific investigation is to pick an object up, let go, and watch it fall, and say, "There you go. You see, I proved that it's incoherent dielectric acceleration."
Not everything is affected. I mean, there's so many flaws.
Stuff falls.
Yeah.
It's
hold on, guys. Hold on. We got to get Aimee in. She's been waiting a bit. Oh, is Aimee even there?
All right. Well,
yep, I'm here.
Oh, here we go.
I'm here. Sorry, it's a stupid thing. All right. 9 o'clock hero says, every time I try to avoid stupid, I end up being there. Don't avoid it, confront it. He's right.
Good
and
one.
Purple Rhymes, thank you. Purple Rhymes with Orange says, can his spirograph predict when the next eclipse will be? Dark Knight Apologetic says, my head hurts, and it's because my brain cells are giving up. Mike Bertelson says, Flurfs will never make the effort to test these things because they're afraid of what the answers will be. Hawk Skull UK says the 24-hour sun over Antarctica is the dome refracting the sun, because that's how Flurfspective works. Chris Kitsulu says pretty drawings don't explain the motions depicted. And Mike Bertelson says, let's see if this schmuck can predict where any given planet will be on March 5th using his spirograph. And Eliam says, that's just, I have no idea what we watch, but if I'm going to die from my Taco Bell, I hope this isn't my final video review.
Oh, right on. Oh,
Thank you so much, everyone, for the comments.
And Barman's been waiting. Barman, jump on in, buddy.
Oh, it's just a bit that's exactly on the screen right now. Too bright to be reflecting sunlight so brightly and evenly. Prove it. Prove it's not the fucking sun. Or just basically understand that the sun is fucking huge and really, really fucking bright. I don't see how this is a difficult concept for them. Because then they say, yes, the sun is here, and then the planets are above the sun. Then why have we got pictures of planets going in front of the sun? No, we don't. Yeah, we do. They were about 3 months ago, the one fucking happened. Prove that this thing doesn't happen. But it doesn't. But prove it. But reasons I can't. Shut the fuck up then. Fuck my life. Anyway, that was all.
And I just want to go back to what AB was saying, because AB, you can say the electric universes sound a little bit more intellectual, but Faraday cage, end of, Faraday cage ruins their entire argument.
Well, yeah,
but do you know what? Since you brought that back up, though, that guy that I brought up scientifically. Do you know that he actually stayed awake for 3 days and was given all these visions and how everything worked by God in a 3-day trance?
Well, no. What he did, he stayed awake for 3 days and watched Ken Wheeler's videos.
That wasn't Flat Earth Aussie Jesus, was it, by any chance?
Let's have some more video. Jesus.
Yeah. Hold on. We got a super chat we better do here.
Go for it.
Dub Kitty, US $5. Thank you very much, honey. That's very, very kind. And she said,
awesome.
She said, I want to hear Dick Dawson sing He Is Comfortably Dumb from Flat Earthers over the years. Well, I did do that tune on my other channel, so I'll do it really quick here. So, I have become comfortably dumb. There, did I do it okay?
Fucking awesome, bruv.
That was awesome.
So, Tatty, bring the pain, brother. Bring the pain.
Oh, it's coming.
Safe as
Less than a
fuck.
minute left. You'll be happy to hear.
Just showed.
Okay. The only thing that I saw that was nonsense was this entire video. What a moron. Holy God, that was stupid. And the conspiracy. What do you think, buddy? That was just horrifically stupid.
My brain hurts. I mean, how many times do they have to be debunked and proven they're wrong before they get a fucking clue?
It seems to be too many is the answer, unfortunately.
It's just every single day it's the same bullshit they spout out, and every single day there's somebody going, "No, you fuckwits, this is how it works," and they're like, "No." I don't understand it, therefore that's not true. Bullshit.
Yeah.
Just because you don't know what it fucking means doesn't mean it ain't true.
100%. I love it. Absolutely. Who wants their turn here?
Well, I just quickly checked. Sorry, I'll just have to interject. I just quickly checked. You know that last image he shows where the horizon is supposed to be flat.
Mm-hmm.
I just quickly stuck a ruler to the rays that come out from the sun. You know, those kind of artifacts that you'd expect, and they're curved. That indicates that this photo has been doctored a little bit.
Wait. Flat Earthers being intellectually dishonest? What?
No, that would never happen. I would never accuse anyone of that, but
I was going to say,
lying bastard.
I was going to say that if you compress that image edge to edge, I bet you'd see a curve in that horizon anyway. Just saying.
Yeah.
Just saying.
All I got to say is the wrong music. But then again, they don't want a copy strike for using Sesame Street.
I go more for Magic Roundabout.
The music was my choosing to avoid a copyright strike.
Good. Okay.
So they did have Sesame Street.
Or Reading Rainbow.
There's a little bit of curve in that horizon as well, so they're fucked up on the correction.
Yeah, that's disrespectful. That's disrespectful. To
Yeah,
Romper Room, Sesame Street, those were educated. You cup of crap.
Oh, what happened there? Okay, we're good.
That was weird.
That was a random tatty slap.
Patty slap.
Like that. That's the new thing.
Yeah.
That gives me a really great mental image of tatty slap.
Can you admit to get tatty slapped?
So who else wants to sound off on that? Who wants a piece here?
Oh, let's see if Amy's got something from the chat.
Yeah. Amy, honey.
Yes, we do. Yeah, I've got a couple here. I've got Linda Bertelson says, "How do you know space travel is fake and the Earth is flat? Because you said so." Love that kind of logic. Ash Scott says that video at the end looked wrong. The way the movement differed between the middle and the edges made it look like it had just been warped to flatten the horizon rather than lens corrected. And Aniceto Maldonado said, "Can I have a clue for 200?"
Oh, that's a good one. Awesome.
Can I interject with a comment here real quick?
Yes.
Yeah, Roger Rabbit says, but so many of them have truth in their channel names. How could anyone doubt their honesty? There's only one channel with truth in his name that anybody needs to understand, and that's truth is not a hoax.
Truth is not a hoax.
There you go.
Truth is not a hoax.
Only one I know that actually puts the truth on.
Yeah. Yeah. That's been a little bit cold, that channel, and as you'll hear, and we will say that will be built on. That is, we will get there. There's things to be done there. There seems to be done there.
Lots of things to be done.
I just got a final thought about the ISS in general. I'm a little bit confused because is he saying that the ISS does exist though? Because it's almost kind of like he actually thinks it does exist, but obviously it's just going over a ridiculous flat Earth. Huh?
Until you point out something that contradicts that with the ISS, and then he'll deny it exists. It'll be a Saturn.
Yeah, absolutely, yes. Oh, he's into his satelloons, isn't he? But I mean, like, you know, the flat earthers that don't believe exists, sometimes it exists, say it's an aeroplane flying within the dome. You know, there's all sorts of different theories, but again, you know, they can't all agree on one simple thing. But I'm going to finish this with, I've actually said this quite a few times, right? There's a video out there, right, and there's it's a tour of the ISS. Okay, it's a really comprehensive tour of the ISS.
I've seen it.
Yeah, and it's a continuous Swanson. Yep. Yeah, and it's a continuous stream of him touring the ISS, floating through hatchways and doorways and all the rest of it. And I believe it's something like 52 minutes long. Okay, I'm like. It has two very brief cuts in it. One at the very beginning when they let him get dressed to do the tour.
That's right.
And
then one near the end when he goes into the cupola module. Yeah. But there's still like 40 minutes completely uncut.
Yeah, at least 40 odd minutes exactly. You know, so you know, and I've put the challenge out there many times. If somebody can actually come along and definitively prove that was all faked or done by wires and harnesses and trapezes and all that kind of stuff, I will delete my channel.
No, I'll tell you what, Spaceman's easy, man. Spaceman.
But nobody can.
It's just fake.
What?
Spaceman, it's just fake, and that's the end of it. It's just fake,
right, okay.
That's the end of it.
Damn, I'm going to delete my channel.
Yeah, no.
That's all they do.
Kennedy.
That is all they do.
I'm going to delete my channel right now.
No, I just want to say I fucking love the International Space Station. It's one of the coolest achievements of all of mankind, in my opinion. And everything we know about it flies in the face of flat Earth. They can't explain it, so they come up with ridiculous shit like it's a light in the sky doing a spirograph pattern because reasons.
Do you know what, though, Kevin, right? Do you know what, Kevin? I mean, I'm just glad that I'm alive today to have witnessed this, you know? And like, fuck, I would like to be born now so that I could witness where we're going, because Christ, you know, we are going to miss so much, you know? We are just seeing the start of our exploration of space, you know. We are witnessing the start of our exploration of space, you know, and it's to be celebrated, and that's awesome for us. But you know, we'll never know where we will
Couldn't
go,
agree more.
And that is amazing, you know. And why the fuck can't you just get on board? It's amazing. Wow.
It is. Oh,
get on board. I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, Monkey brings up a good point that we're in the middle of a second space race right now, and flat earthers just ignore it. But the fact is, we're going to Mars, we're going back to the moon, and we're going to make commercial spaceflight viable. And at that point, fuck flat Earth. There's too much.
Do you know, exactly. Fuck flat Earth. By then, we'll be doing other shit like anti-vaxxers, because they're a bunch of fucking wankers that need to be sorted out and all.
Oh, yeah.
And we're going to go, you know, flat Earth, right? You've been a right good laugh, but you're getting boring now. You come up with the same bollocks. We keep debunking it. We are sick to death of fucking trying to ram the cherries that you haven't picked down your fucking throats. So don't worry, once we've all fucking, like, you know, when we are bored of your shit, Riley and all that, why don't you just fucking, just fuck off, mate. Battle it amongst yourselves, who's got the best model, because none of us give a fuck anymore, because it's bollocks.
Yeah, they don't have a model, never will. So, you know, it's all bullshit right there. Absolutely. Yes. Anybody else want to wrap up on this video before we go to the next one? Wow, I think we're ready for the next one.
I think so.
Yeah, that was huge. Let's see here. Let's go to the notes. What do we got? Oh, a plain truth for you. This is just, oh man, this is going to be bad. The Freemasons' invention of baseball, bred in circus.
No, for fuck's sake.
Oh my God.
Baseball is a hoax? What?
Freemasons invented baseball because of bread or because they wanted to go to the. I don't know. I got nothing.
Well,
I got
yeah.
nothing.
We should play
Even if the Freemason invented baseball, who the fuck cares?
I'm not sure why it matters, but I'm sure we're gonna find out.
Because Freemasons are just are bad for
I'll tell you what,
reasons.
right? You brought up baseball. I watched an amazing video the other day. Does any of you guys know a creator called Derek Van Shake? He does like body language videos. And he done a video the other day about the body language of whether a pitcher has hit the batsman on purpose or whether it's an accident. But he actually done a flat Earth video as well, and he absolutely ripped. He's brilliant. He's brilliant. He's done quite a few high profile, like Jesse Smollett calling him out on his bullshit. Or Jussie Smollett, whatever his name is, a couple of like murderers that were in the media at the time. But he also done Flat Earth and completely and utterly called out Mark Sargent as a fraud. Said the guy is absolutely doesn't believe what he's saying whatsoever, and this is why bomb, and ripped him apart. It's a brilliant video, and if no one's seen it, I will find it and link it in the chat.
Alrighty. So yeah, this again is the Freemasons' invention of baseball, and then it says,
wasn't Boole saying something?
Oh yeah,
No.
right.
No, all I was saying is Freemasons are inherently wrong for reasons that they never give. They're inherently wrong. I happen to know a little different because I actually became a first degree, and then I realized how racially motivated the actual Blue Lodge is. Wow. So, especially in the United States, like there's a Blue Lodge there's a lot of Blue Lodges in Africa and other places where, of course, Black people join all the time. But here in the United States, there's the Blue Lodge, and then there's the Prince Hall, which is the Black people's, and they're clandestine. They don't interact with each other, which is ridiculous. It's ridiculous, right? So I was just like, no, I'm not taking part of that. Like, it's just not something I'm going to do. And so, yeah, I know enough to know it's a good old boys club where you spend a lot of money to get a lot of pranks played on you and have to memorize a lot of stuff, and that's pretty much it. That's all you do.
Well, yeah, that's pretty much what my brother's experience was. Well, I tried to join up for a laugh, but I know a guy who's a Freemason, and he was just very much like, no, I will not, kind of give you the introductions and do all the things because I know that you are very secular. And therefore, I don't think that you should be a member. But my brother, he joined the Freemasons and got all excited and stuff like that because he's all about, all about the boys' clubs and stuff like that, and desperately wants to be part of that. And he just got bored of it because turns out that, it's not that exciting.
No, it's not. And it's like, think the Elks on the Flintstones. The Elks on the lodge on the Flintstones is making fun of the Masons. That's what it is. That's all it is. So,
all right. Well, should we play this video and see where we're going? Yeah, exactly.
Game in quotation marks.
Game in quotation.
They just contracted to pay one player on one team $6 million a year. Can you believe this?
And why is that?
It's the Roman circus.
Does anyone besides me know who Bill Cooper was?
No.
He was like the OG conspiracist.
It will be explained.
Okay. All right. Well, I won't go. Well, does it mention Does it mention why he died? Or how he died?
It touches on it, but not as well as you would. So please do.
Basically, what happened is, he ran a radio show for years and got into all kinds of insane conspiracies. He was really big into Project Bluebeam and all that kind of shit. And one day, because he was harboring a bunch of illegal guns in his house, the cops tried to draw him out by pretending to be raucous teenagers down the street. He came out and started shooting at them, so they shot him back.
Wow.
This man is fucking insane. Fuck Bill Cooper.
That is a bit mental.
Yep. On that note, shall we continue?
On that note, let's have a bit more.
What does the emperor do when the people become restive, and when the people are asking questions, and when the people don't like the policies of the emperor? He sends them to the circus. He creates a circus. He builds a giant coliseum, and he begins to throw the Christians to the lions. And he has great chariot races and football games and basketball games, all to keep the idiots preoccupied with things that don't mean anything in the scheme of the entire world.
God, what a windbag.
Hey folks, welcome to another video from A Plain Truth. Milton William Bill Cooper, a true hero, folks, speaking out before anybody else was, and he was killed November 5th, 2001. He had talked about 9/11. He had talked about HIV/AIDS being a man-made disease to target blacks, Hispanics, and homosexuals. He was an intelligence officer.
Kill this fucker.
You're lying. You're lying, whoever made this video. He did talk about all these things, but what he did was the Texas sharpshooter fallacy. That's where you just say a whole bunch of shit, and eventually some of it's gonna stick. It's it's when you you fire a bunch of rounds at the side of the barn, and then you paint a target over where you hit. That's what he did.
Yeah.
And yeah, he didn't really talk about 9/11. He did do the whole AIDS was used to target blacks and homosexuals, which is just plain wrong. But no, Bill Cooper is not a hero. He was an insane religious fundamentalist. That's what he was. And I'm a little fucking enraged that this guy wants to give fucking Bill Cooper any respect.
Who is this guy's video again?
That they're talking about 9/11, that he was, he said things about 9/11. Now, Bill Cooper, he was shot on November 5th, 2001. Less than a month after 9/11. There was not a lot going on there.
I was just wondering
at the time. Around the whole 9/11 conspiracy, no, the whole world was at that point was still going, what the fuck just happened?
Yeah, we were all still in shock in November.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah. But this goes back to an earlier point, and I'm gonna kind of leave it at that. What I don't understand is they talk about all this entertainment stuff and all that malarkey, about it being to distract the masses and to control the masses. And so are you saying that a baseball game is there to control the masses? Now, I know baseball games fucking last forever. They're not as long as cricket matches, at least, But that is still a finite amount of time, and what, a baseball game takes up a day-ish. I don't know exactly how long they take, but that's a day in a month, or maybe in a year, that someone will really actively... What do these people who are so distracted by baseball do the rest of their time?
Watch more baseball. But you raise a point there that what do people do when they go to sports matches? They get drunk and they cause hassle, especially football fucking players or people. And I'm sure baseball, I mean regular football, not fucking silly American football.
American football does the same thing.
Fair enough. Yeah,
American football is all about the beer.
Yeah, but do then they all get in fights afterwards?
A lot of times.
Occasionally.
So how is that in any government's interest to get your population drunk, cause hassle, have to get your police out, spend your own resources because they've got drunk and are now throwing up on your floors, which you've got to clean up as the government and pay for your street sweeps to do it. You've got to arrest them and pay for the jail for them to be in. Wouldn't it be better to get them hooked on something like going to the theatre or not giving them beer, giving them bread? And I don't know. Fuck my life. It just seems like a stupid plan.
And also, why in particular? Why is he picking on baseball in particular? I mean, there's a lot of other sports, isn't there? Right? A lot of other sports. So why particularly baseball? I mean, if you're going to apply that to baseball, you've got to apply that to all kinds of sports, right? But he's not. He's just picking on baseball.
As he showed in the picture, the bat's 33 inches long, weighs 33 ounces, and the ball's got 108 stitches on, which means numbers.
Exactly, but I mean, you could find numbers everywhere. Come on, we all saw this with UC33, didn't we? I mean, he found all kinds of numbers everywhere. Right.
Well, that's the thing. You can pick any arbitrary number, and you will find it anywhere. And also, a baseball bat is not necessarily 33 inches long.
Does it have to be 33 ounces either? Is there a weight limit on them?
Well, I just did a quick Google search, and it says it's on average it's 32, but.
That's even better.
I am far from an expert, but I do know. I have played a little bit of baseball when I was a bit younger, and I do know that there are different sizes bats, which all have different masses, and it is all pretty much down to personal preference.
Yep. Let's just play rounders or cricket. It's easier.
And can I just point out, because Spaceman was talking about this before, why baseball? This is like such an Americanized video because, I'm sorry, Americans, love you, but you need to understand that you represent 4% of the world population. 320 million, or 7.2 billion divided by 320 million is about 4%. You are a tiny chunk of the world. Nobody's controlling the masses with your sport that the rest of the world doesn't really care about.
No. You'd understand more. You would understand more if it was football, stroke, soccer, whatever you want to call it, because at least literally every country in the world plays that game.
Yes, but we all know that proper football is a communist conspiracy. I mean, that's a well-established fact, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, doesn't it have to be? Doesn't it have to be? Because there has to be a conspiracy to it, because one group of people named a sport football and you use your foot on the ball, and the other use the same word for a sport where you don't really do that. There's got to be something there.
Yeah.
The only way to settle this is to say who is the best footballer on the planet.
Don't know.
How the hell would I know?
I don't know football.
I know.
Pele.
I know that name. I'll say Pele. Yeah, because I've heard of him.
Pele.
Right now. At least you're on the right sport, mate. That's the main thing. You are on the right sport. Yeah. Pele was maybe, but not now.
So who is it now then?
Messi or Ronaldo?
Ooh, Messi.
In the chat,
Ronaldo.
anyone who knows football, Messi or Ronaldo?
It's all Greek to me.
It's got to be Messi.
Okay.
Messi.
And we better get to Aimee here, guys. She's got some stuff for us.
Yeah, please. Thank you. I've got a super chat to Victory for 25 American dollars. Thank you so much, Victory. He says, do a random gravity check and drop a ball bat on a plain truth's head.
You dropped out there for me for a second. Can you repeat that one so I catch it? Yeah.
Oh, sure. Yeah, sure. It is. Can we do a random gravity drop a baseball bat on a plain truth's head?
I like it.
And then we have, thank you. And then we have some awesome comments here. Aniceto Maldonado says the truth. Fuck, I'm comfortable with my globe lie. G Hammer says the truth was a great character in San Andreas. Aniceto says give the key some. He sounds like he's going to slide off the table. Bertelson says spacerism, so-called flat Earth movement boomed, buying their I Survived t-shirts. Doorknob Head says the Freemasons invented measuring from the base of the ball. Mr. Victor, baseball isn't real. It's just penguins playing golf ice wall. Chris Katsoulis says being an intelligence officer does not make one intelligent. The more you know. Mr. Victory, and with can we give him a bad case of the Flurpies? He won't be able to make any more videos. Just saying. and as Scott, why would you try to control people with alcohol? Alcohol makes people contrarian and argumentative. If you want to control them, give them weed.
That's a good point.
Man, why would weed control the masses? It's not like it just makes you totally complacent with life, dude.
Man, weed sets you free. Yeah. Like
I've been binging that 70s show. I've been binging that 70s show, and every time they show the round table, it's like, yes, I understand. I love it.
Yeah, the show finally makes sense then, right?
Exactly. I date myself. Cheech and Chong was, those movies are so funny.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Hey, Aimee.
So yeah, I think
is there any way you can refresh your connection or something? Maybe you're roboting out on us a little bit.
Oh, okay, sure. I'll try that.
Sure.
Okay,
Sorry,
well, I'm a little behind on the video. How about we play a bit so I can see where we're at and what we're up to?
It's all crazy. You didn't miss much. Don't worry. But play more.
Okay. I didn't figure, but
Officer for the U.S. Navy, worked at the U.S. Air Force. Speaking truth to power is what got him killed. But I want to bring your attention to the bread and circuses is referring to and how deep it goes. And I don't know if many of you are aware of, but did you know the game of baseball is a Masonic ritual and that it was made up by Freemasons? Appropriately called America's pastime, baseball is less a sport than a ritual. It is slow-paced, the players are immobile most of the time, standing on geometric shapes. Philosopher Morris Raphael Cohen, described baseball as a national...
Pause. Sorry. Isn't that picture that's in his little thing there on the side, isn't that the precursor to basketball?
That looks like the Aztec sort of thingy.
Yeah.
Yeah. With wagons.
It's the Aztec suit game.
I'm sorry. I also have to ask something extremely pedantic. But he's talking about, it's Masonic because they play it on geometric shapes. Please explain to me how you play something on a shape that is not geometric.
Yeah,
that's a really good point, right?
Yeah. Cricket to an extent.
I mean,
that's not American.
The play field is a molecule.
Yeah, is everything zero-dimensional in any other case? Oh, Jesus.
Is it just me, or are conspirators like really scared of math for some reason?
But they love
geometric shapes. Oh.
They love numbers, though.
I mean, this guy could use a good slap shot to the head, to the geometric puck between the eyes.
Is baseball really the American pastime? Because I thought maybe American football or basketball was probably equally as big, if not bigger than baseball. No? I mean, correct me if I'm wrong.
I think baseball is listed as America's sort of pastime sort of thing. I thought it was... drinking races and advertising.
I thought drinking was America's favorite pastime.
That's what I'm talking about.
I thought that was Scotland.
That's 3/4
Scotland. Aren't you Scots required to drink a certain amount of alcohol every day?
Hell yeah, otherwise we shipped it to the country.
Why should we what? Not even I understood that.
They ship them to England then.
Yeah, that national Scots just to confuse any kind of English, Welsh, or Northern Irish people. But I just
the immigration test is you have to actually see how much alcohol you can actually consume within an hour. As part of the test into Scotland.
Yeah. No, I just want
well, the Canadians will be passing that test, let me tell you.
Well, speaking of Canadians, I was just thinking, he's. I'm not sure if he knows the difference between a country's national pastime and its national sport. Because a national sport is something official, right? Like hockey is Canada's national pastime, but it's not our national sport. Our national sport is
lacrosse. Is.
Yeah, because the Native Canadians invented it.
That's right.
And I think he's failing.
Colin.
So did he say pastime or did he say sport? I'm not sure what he actually said.
Pastime, I believe.
Pastime, yeah.
Okay, so I gotta interject something here real quick. I had to go to this guy's channel because I had to figure out. I'm like, what the hell is this dude all about? He's got a video. It's called PlayStation 4 video game Bloodborne: A History of the Destruction of the Tartarians.
Oh God.
Was that the Tartarians?
Yeah.
Did they invent tartar sauce? What?
That's the pre-Mudflood Society.
Yeah.
That was the world that was here before the Mudflood.
Who were always at war with the Mustardians and the Ketchupians.
That's the one, the Ketchupians. I've done a video on that, the Ketchupians. Oh,
that was funny.
The Vinegar Wars.
This always put your ketchup in the fridge. Anyway, Barnabas.
Anyone?
Yeah. Oh God, it is terrible.
They sit around throwing palm frits at each other.
Oh,
making a wee more video.
Jesus.
Yeah. I think you called it, Tatty.
Cool. On my way.
National religion. Almost all ancient civilizations had some sort of ritualistic sporting event that mixed athletic prowess with religious beliefs. Playing ball engaged one in the maintenance of the cosmic order of the universe and the ritual regeneration of life, the G inside the Freemasonics, regeneration. It was a game of chance, skill, and trickery reflecting life.
Barman.
Oh, I buzzed because I didn't want it to stop yet. I was just going to say.
Fuck, sorry.
That's why I buzz and don't shout pulse. When he's saying about these sports and these rituals and things like that, one of these things these ancient sports and rituals had in common was human sacrifice. Now, I haven't watched baseball much, but I don't think it involves any human sacrifice.
I don't think they do. No,
you need to look closely.
Yeah, but where else are you going to get a football from?
Oh, jeez. I mean, if you go back to the old movie, what was it called? Major League. The one guy wanted to sacrifice a chicken, but all he got was a bucket of KFC. So it's just not really going down that way. It's not. We got a super chat in there. John Rapp, Australian $2. You Yanks. Do you play baseball in winter? Pussies.
No, we play quote unquote football in winter.
Yeah.
Where they don't, where if you actually try to
football. I think chat already pointed out. I think one of the chats already. Ooh, sorry. Go on.
Somebody pick.
If you were to actually try to kick the football around like you do in soccer, then
not soccer.
It would be a ridiculous game. It would be American football would be ridiculous if you tried to play it with your feet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you play with funny shaped balls, don't you? So you know.
Yeah, I think Floyd Marston already pointed out in the chat there's football and that's what and there is what the Americans do, which is hand egg.
Yeah,
that's a good name for it, actually.
Yeah.
Oh man!
But you know, and it's not called the soccer association. It's called the Football Association.
Yeah. That's true. While we're on baseball, though, how come the National League and the American League have the World Series and there is one team that's outside of America? Can anybody explain that to me?
Oh, yeah, I don't get that either.
Yeah.
Well, you mean more than
It
me.
was the original sponsors of the trophy.
Say that again, Johnny?
The original sponsors of the trophy was the World News or something along those lines, and that's where they got the World Series name from.
See, that makes sense. Yes, it finally makes sense because it just wasn't the World, Series. It just wasn't,
No.
And that,
But
one
yeah,
team,
now that makes sense.
that one team outside of America is us, isn't it? Isn't the Jays?
Yeah, exactly. We used to have two, but down to one.
But if it's a World Series, how come there's never any Japanese teams? The second largest baseball nation in the world.
Yeah. It would be really cool if, because there's also baseball down south of America too, right? As soon as you go past into Mexico and whatnot, baseball all over the place, all through, and there could be a real World Series. That would actually be pretty cool if you're into baseball. I mean, I just find it really dull and boring, an excuse to drink beer because you didn't want to watch golf anymore. But man, I don't know. That's just me.
I was just going to say that.
It is, man.
Don't be dissing the golf, man.
Yeah,
to be honest, if you're watching golf or baseball, I have to seriously question your character. I mean, pretty much in this day and age, right? We have pornography available on demand.
Right.
That's going to be a hell of a lot more interesting than that shit. Come on, really?
Oh yeah. Exactly.
Let's rule 34 this shit. I bet there's baseball porn out there.
Probably is. I mean, this was a thing when I did my first undergraduate degree. It went around the year, around the whole Rule 34 thing. And someone tested it and thought, right, dinosaurs were a thing. So there must be a porn around dinosaurs. And they did find pornography involving people dressed up as dinosaurs.
Wow. There's porn for everything.
Okay, Tatty, we got to get back to there's a super chat in. Where is it here? God, I'm useless at this sometimes. John Rapp, Australia, $2. Football. Aussie rules football and Aussies rule. I have seen Aussie rules football, and that is some psychotic stuff. Those guys are tough. They are
a decent
tough.
game.
Yeah, absolutely. Speaking of games, should we get back to this?
Oh yeah.
I mean, we're kind of on topic, but not really.
Team effort engaged individuals in shared behavior and culture, introducing, reinforcing, and reinventing the game of life and people's place in the cosmic order. The Mayans, the Greeks, the Romans, all other civilizations played sports.
Well, at least we know
George Washington was a Grand Master Lodge Freemason.
I'm looking at his highlighted stuff, and blow that back up real quick, Teddy.
Give me two.
Okay, on the second one where he's
sorry, got it.
All right, so if you look at on the second one he's got highlighted, if you look at the first part of that sentence, it says American Freemasonry history goes back as far as American history. Well, no shit. It's another case of these idiots where they just cherry pick everything. And if you're gonna do something, highlight. You can't just go in and pick what you want and highlight what you want. You've got to give the context before and after.
Agreed. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So in this case, you're like talking, the Freemasons invented baseball. Well, you got to give some more context here. You just can't go immediately jump to George Washington was a Grand Master of a lodge. So
yeah. And I still don't understand any of the connections myself. Let's see here. Dead Kennedy in Space is up. Maybe he can help on this.
well, it's bullshit connections. Like the bottom one there. The field bears an astonishing resemblance to the square and compass of Freemasonry. If you want to see that, it also just looks like a fucking diamond. Like
Exactly.
that's all he's doing is he's using confirmation bias and a whole bunch of like numerology bullshit that nobody cares about.
Oh my God, that was so stupid. I didn't even realize he was laying the Mason thing over the ball diamond because that's just ridiculous. Are you kidding me?
Because the first baseline and the third baseline are at 90 degrees to each other. That's why a square fits there, you idiot. God.
What gets me is almost as if he's claiming that most of the population of the United States watch baseball. I mean, is that really the case? Because if that's what they're trying to do, then most of the population would have to be out watching baseball on any given day, right?
It's not. It's actually declining in popularity, from my understanding.
Well, yeah, it's not working very well, then, is it?
One, because it's a slow game. It's not as fast paced as football. It doesn't have a timer at all. It can go forever and ever, technically.
Yeah.
Well, fuck me backwards. The Masons are failing then. They're not doing too well at this, are they?
No, they're not.
It's because the woke people are finally realizing the truth.
Oh, I hate that word.
Yeah, man.
No, you're not woke, dumbass.
Nope.
I've just got a quick Google. A recent Gallup poll shows that only 9% of people in the United States are listing baseball as their favorite sport. That's the
9%.
lowest number since they started asking the question in 1937. Statistics show that ballpark attendance is down in 19 out of the 30 stadiums around the league.
Oh, dear.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they've done shit there.
Yeah.
It's not working.
Nice bit of research there, Barman.
Yeah. Well,
welcome.
Speaking of research, how about we see some more lack thereof?
Actually, before we go into that, Floyd Marston did just post something in the chat saying, funny how the flat earth hand sign is the very same as the Freemasons the apprentice sign. He posted a link. Click on that. It will give you an image. And yeah.
Good one, Floyd. That's awesome.
Keep it flat.
Oh, that's funny. That's funny. You know, when I see that image of the guy holding his hand like that, why do I see that guy in my mind? That's all I can see right now is that guy. Hate that guy. I'm glad he's gone.
All I see is
Tatty,
the Ghostbusters crew all doing that exact pose.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. 15 degrees, eh, Bob?
A 15 degree per hour drift.
I love that. What do you think, Tatty? A little more punishment for the group?
There we go.
We pretty much all know that. Also, the United States Capitol has Freemasonic symbolism everywhere. The invention of baseball is usually credited with Abner Doubleday in 1870. Doubleday was a United States Army officer and Union general in the American Civil War. After he retired, he became a prominent member of the Theosophical Society, an organization that researches the esoteric and the occult. No doubt.
Oh, fucking hell. The Theosophical Society.
I did this earlier. I just Googled who invented baseball. History.com. You may have heard that a young man named Abner Doubleday invented the game known as baseball in Cooperstown, New York during the summer of 1839. Doubleday then went on to become a Civil War hero while baseball became America's beloved national pastime. Not only is that story untrue, it's not even in the ballpark.
Nice pun.
That's a good one.
So yeah, that's like a common misconception. Like everybody, that's one of those like urban legends that won't die. Everybody or a lot of people know about that Doubleday supposedly inventing baseball, but it's just not true. And you didn't bother to look further into it, did you, buddy?
Yeah, kind of guy that doesn't go to snow.
Flat Earther doesn't research properly.
Congratulations. You just pulled a Riley by Googling the wrong baseball like he Googled the wrong food call.
Oh, that's funny. Oh, I love that guy. He's so stupid. Well, Tatty, let's go a bit more then. Let's see what this moron's got to say.
doubt he had extensive knowledge of occult symbols, sacred geometry, and numerology. All right, so the square and the compass, look at the ball field. Pretty obvious when you see it with new set of eyes. The field bears an astonishing resemblance to the square and the compass of Freemasonry. The field from home plate to the left and right field wall forms a compass. The entire outfield wall is the semicircle which this compass draws. Upside down, overlapping this compass, the bases form the square. Thus, the baseball field is the emblem of Freemasonry circling the square. The checkerboard, you notice how they cut the lawns like a checkerboard? It's not by accident. Newer addition to baseball that is also significantly Freemason, found on the floor of most Freemason lodges. It's the path of life or the game of life, and we are just pawns in the game. All right, numerology. Numerology aspect of baseball is something to look at closely. It relates directly to the sacred numbers. 3, 6, and 9 know the universe, Nikola Tesla said. You'll notice that almost all numbers relate to baseball are
Pause. 369. Damn, you're dumb.
Hold on. Are we 369? Are we having 369s?
Well, there's enough people, but I'm not sure I want to play AB.
No, the dude-to-chick ratio is a bit out for me. I'm not.
Yeah, this is a sword fight, and I'm not playing.
So, I said talk about context. I'm not sure if I caught that right, but I'm pretty sure under one of his highlighted things, it says that the checkerboard is the symbol of the Freemason and is also found on the Mormon floors of the Mormon temples. Therefore, they're Freemasons too. Is that what that said?
That's what I heard. I as soon as the numerology came in, I was just, it was really hard, but I didn't punch the screen, so I'm doing good so far.
Okay. There is just something very important I really want to highlight when it comes to Freemasonry, because they was talking about the atheists and Freemasonry, blah. Right. Okay. All Freemasons believe in a higher power. It is simple as that. It is an entry requirement, and it is that very requirement. And that was the reason for me not being introduced to, being actually brought into the fold. And also because they knew I would take the piss. But that's the thing. So likelihood is that yes, there are going to be some Mormons in the Freemasons. Yeah.
Undoubtedly.
Yep. Yeah, Dead Kennedy's waiting here.
I just want to say in regards to numerology is just bullshit. That's all it is. It's confirmation bias and finding what you want to see. They're just numbers. There is nothing sacred about 3, 6, or 9. Just because you call them sacred doesn't make them fucking sacred. That's all there is to it.
Exactly.
Just numbers.
It's the human gift for pattern recognition being displayed. And just like everybody knows, we're so good at it, we have the man on the moon and so on and so forth. You see it where it doesn't need to be.
Like pareidolia as well, isn't it? It's the same thing. We just see things we want to see. It's like these dumbass idiots that read into things that ain't there, and it's like, no, mate, this is your own little story in your own little mind.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It's the religion of the painfully gullible.
Well said.
I watched a video called John Wick Decoded, where through numerology they prove that John Wick is the same code as God. So therefore, John Wick is God.
I could believe that on the first movie, but the third one, I just watched it a few days ago. I wasn't that impressed. Sorry, God. Do better next time.
And I just want to point out that a little while ago, one of our fellow shills, Kiri Mac, she was talking to 33UC on Twitter and showed him how she could make the words, fuck it, I'll just say it, the words cunt and twat relate to 33. Doesn't mean anything.
Pete Berube proved that 33UC in numerology comes out to 33. using the numerology that he uses, He went in and went, look, your name is 33.
That is amazing.
And you know what? Who gives a fuck?
Yeah, nobody cares.
Ain't that the truth? Holy.
Unless you're a paranoid, deluded fucktard.
Well, you know, speaking of nobody cared, we still should finish the video. Right? Should we play a little more?
Yeah, show the video with the quarter of a cake. Because it looks more like that.
Multiples of the advisors of 9. We get 3 strikes, 3 outs, 9 fielding positions, 9 innings, 27 outs per game, 81 homes games, and 81 games on the road, 162 games. The 3 bases represent the 3 degrees of the Blue Lodge, and in order to score or succeed, the player must reach home plate, and in order to advance to further degrees. The sacrifice fly. The batter at home plate is actually the baiter, and like bait, as the batter hits the ball, the masses get hooked in excitement, just like magic, lend their intense energy and focus to the Kabbalistic ritual. Do you ever think if we took all the energy you do in sports with our teams winning and whatnot, and put that towards taking down the people that are trying to kill us all with geoengineering, vaccines?
Okay. First of all, the whole excitement of baseball, that's just a sport. People get invested in sports, and there are exciting moments to sports. Like there are points where you realize something crucial is happening that will affect the game, and you get excited. That's how it works. Also, there aren't 3 bases. There's fucking 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he went up and said, people are trying to kill us all. I mean, what the fuck is wrong with this guy, man?
And Monkey,
he's an anti-vaxxer. He's an anti-vaxxer on top of it all.
And if there's a vaccine that'll take his punk ass out, I'll administer it. Fucking serve it up.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's about the whole anti-vax thing. Every conspiracist.
In the middle of the street, and I'd gather round, and I'd get all those other fucking idiots in a box, and I'd go, witness this, because this is a vaccine about to execute someone. And then I'd give him a fucking BCG and go, look, he's still all right in here, you fucking stupid twats.
Well, AB, but that's the thing with anti-vax. You can pretty much count on every conspiracist being an anti-vaxxer. It just has to be, right? It is such a baseline conspiracy that a disturbing number of people will buy into. And you don't have to be a conspiracist to be an anti-vaxxer, but you definitely have to be an anti-vaxxer to be a conspiracist.
Yeah, but do you know what, AB? I actually fear that this is growing, and this is going to be something that we're going to be seeing a lot more of, to be honest with you. I really believe that.
I think anti-vax is going to be gone very soon, because, and this is my reasoning for it. We had
killing themselves
the
off.
Anti-vax. We had the anti-vax rush. Back in the day, it was around 1999, 2000, 2001 when Andrew Wakefield published his paper and everything. Now, there's something very crucial because the people that were really affected were people who were just being born or were basically up to about 6 years old at that time. They were not being vaccinated properly by their parents, who were scared shitless. And what we are seeing now is the effects. We are seeing these vaccine outbreaks at the universities. We are now seeing not vaccine outbreaks. We're seeing outbreaks of mumps and rubella. And
measles.
We are getting regular emails, reminding us to take care of these things. And these students are being affected. And these students and this generation will be the first generation in a long time that has real first-hand experience of the dangers of not vaccinating. And it is for that reason that I think that the whole anti-vax thing is going to be gone very soon, because
it will be gone.
This generation will start having children in about 5 to 10 years.
Yeah, I agree there.
Like Dick said, it'll be gone because they'll wipe themselves out for one.
Well,
yeah,
they
oh,
won't
exactly,
wipe
right?
themselves out,
Hold on,
but-
guys. Amy's been waiting here. She's got some stuff from the chat here.
Yeah, please, if I can. And I don't know if I sound any better. I've been trying to fix my internet, too. Rennie, baby. Hi, Mama. Good to see you. People need to stop reading Dan Brown books as they are truth. Hey, shh, because it's fiction. Quit asking me to sprinkle them titties. Says, I'm really surprised that guy hasn't started a new channel already. Mr. Victory says, numerology is just a party game. Helmut Cook says, using this guy's logic, I just proved that Croatia is invented by the Freemasons. Quit asking me to sprinkle them titties is back again. Wait, numerology is bullshit? You mean 33 UC isn't right? And Joseph Grant says, cunt from the Latin word cunus. Romans thought it was strange that the vagina was named with a singular masculine word.
Can I just say, quit asking me to sprinkle them titties is the fucking greatest name of
That was pretty
2020.
funny. And
Yeah,
then
but
I
it'll
just had two
change
more
soon.
comments, please.
I know it will.
And then John Rapp says the diagonal of a 90-foot square is 127 feet, 3 3/8 inches. Numerology that. And then Aniceto says the home plate looks like a house. The other 4 is 3 squares and a strip. Don't forget the picture has something there.
I like it.
You know, you talking about the titties name. I actually, one of the favorite names I've seen is Titan Uranus.
Yeah.
There's also someone out there named Stupid Horror Energy.
That one's right to the point. That's to the point.
Yes,
absolutely.
Stupid Horror Energy. That's their name.
Wow, interesting. Well, Tatty, what do you think then? Oh, sorry, Dead Kennedy. Yes, absolutely.
Pardon me. First of all, Amy, your voice sounds much better now. No roboting. It sounds all good.
Thank you.
Second thing, shit. It's been a while and I've kind of forgotten. Give me 1 second. Anti-vaxxers. It was to do. Oh yes. Has anyone seen that fucking amazing tweet from an anti-vaxxer that's been popping up recently, where they said, I swear to God, they said, instead of vaccines, why don't we just inject people with a small inactive part of the disease so that they can build up an immunity?
I think I actually saw that. I have that one for
That's what
one
vaccines are.
What was that end of conspiracy?
I said I might actually have that one on my list of dumbass tweet of the weeks.
Yeah, I think that was where I saw it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God, well, at least the moron is on the right track. I mean, come on, you know.
I mean, it just goes to show the ignorance of people, that they really don't understand. They're against something that they really don't understand. I mean, you know, if you're going to be against something, you would want to know a lot about it before you can speak out against it, right? To me, that just makes absolutely no sense to me. None.
Oh my God.
Yeah, but the whole thing doesn't make sense. I mean, you got to think that.
Well, yeah, no.
These people, these are the people that are going, well, MMR causes autism. The science shows this. The data.
No, it doesn't actually. No,
actually, but hold on. It's the mercury that causes it. MMR never contained mercury because because thimerosal actually kills the MMR thing. Oh. But it's aluminium salts. Same thing there. It never happened.
But
I mean, correct. Go on. Sorry, Kevin. No, go on ahead.
But also, it doesn't cause autism. It causes autism-like symptoms, which for some reason is different from autism.
But that's not even what the paper showed. The paper, right?
No, not even
we
close.
have to remember, right? This paper used falsified
fraudulent.
data.
Yes,
it was absolutely fraudulent. But even with the fraud, they said in the paper that there may be a possible link between between MMR vaccines and Crohn's disease, and this may be linked to autism. However, our sample size is far too small and it is a case control study, and you're starting to see how ridiculous this is, right?
Yeah, man, I'm dying over here.
They didn't even have the balls to admit anywhere near as close to that. But Andrew Wakefield, in the press release and in the patent application, said, no, we definitely proved that, vaccines cause autism. However, the paper does not say anything close to that.
No.
AB, is Wakefield's study the one that by slicing the data into finer chunks, he basically found a correlation, not causation, but a correlation between autism and African Americans of a certain age, which doesn't prove anything, because why would African Americans be more susceptible to it?
No. The study we're talking about is the Wakefield study where he.
Yeah. There was a study that talked about that. I guess it wasn't Wakefield. No, it was a former CDC guy.
Yeah, that's a different one. Yeah, that's a different one, which is also completely wrong. Yeah. But yeah, the Wakefield one is the one where he got paid. Talk about the irony about the big pharma, they're all in it for the money. He got paid.
Yeah, he was fucking shilling
£400,000 to perform a study, and let's remember that the study was set up to investigate the validity of a claim. He was paid to demonstrate the validity of the claim from some parents who felt that there was some autism, some vaccine-related injury which led to autism, right? That's your first red flag. Your second red flag is that Andrew Wakefield, just before doing that study...
I can't wait for this part. Give it.
He filed for a patent for a different vaccine, which he envisaged would compete with the triple vaccine. And it was a single one. However, because it's a single one rather than one single shot, which addresses 3 issues, there was no business case for it. So he needed to create a business case for his vaccine. And by all means, his vaccine could very well work. And for all intents and purposes, it probably did. However, you can't
went mobster on it.
Yeah, because
He
it's
went
a
about
single
it the wrong way.
vaccine that did the job for, I can't remember, I think it was just for rubella. It was a rubella vaccine. I'm not quite sure. It could be mumps or measles. I can't remember which one exactly it is, but it was a single shot that did 1/3 of what the MMR vaccine was supposed to do.
Mm-hmm.
So, with his logic, then develop a vaccine for the two other diseases, and then suddenly you have to expose your child to 3 shots rather than just a 1.
Right.
However, it's such a bad business case, but to make it commercially viable, he needed to create a scare around it.
That's right, because he had to shut it down, right?
Precisely. And then having that case control study, which was pretty much, encouraged by lawyers who wanted to they wanted to sue the pharmaceutical companies, and they wanted to build a case. Linda Bertelson, it was for measles. Right. Yeah, I can't remember which one of the 3 it was. Yeah.
Cool.
But they wanted to create the case so they can actually sue the pharmaceutical companies. And so it was a perfect partnership of people who wants to sue, and he wants to make money. Everyone wants to make money out of it. And then the irony is that, the vaccine things, it's just pharmaceutical companies trying to make money. And then, no, you have to really consider where this all comes from.
Oh, yeah. Everybody can see on the screen now, there's that ridiculous tweet. That's amazing.
That is courtesy of Harry Warp. in the Discord. So thank you, Harry.
Harry, right on. Thanks, man. Thank you. That's just...
Thank you, Harry.
Yeah. I think instead of chemical shots, space, the doctors should give a small piece of the virus so the body can build natural immunity. Period, space.
No shit, Sherlock.
Oh, well, you got to say, at least a person's on the right track. But, yeah, I think somebody beat you to it.
I have to point out an error in what I said. That person claims they're not an anti-vaxxer. They're sure talking like one, though.
I know. And chemical shots. I love that part. That was great. Here's some acid and some, what are they thinking, man?
Maybe somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, AB. Those vaccines, the chemicals they actually talk about or they're all panicking about often are not either found. And even when they are found, they're in such minuscule amounts that it couldn't possibly do any harm anyway, right?
That's right.
Well, so there's the... so that's one. Yeah, they don't really do any harm in those concentrations. But there's the second side, which is the sillier side. They talk about the they talk about the thimerosal and aluminium salts. Now, they are adjuvants. Which are chemicals that are supposed to ensure the freshness of the vaccines and increase the shelf life of the vaccines. But
right,
the thing is with all the childhood vaccines, they are live vaccines. So what that roughly means is that the organisms that are in there, they are still alive. However, they don't do the nasty like their proper counterparts, right? So they are preservatives, and the issue is that mercury and aluminium salts kill them, so they no longer work. Now, thimerosal and the thimerosal in the EU has been removed just on basis of the cautionary principle, but you still have the aluminium salts. Now, they are used on the kind of dead vaccines where it's more about as long as some of the protein structures are still in place that you'd find on these bacteria and these diseases, then you'll find they don't necessarily have to be alive, and that's when you can use them. But they're just not used in childhood vaccines. And Oxford University does publish a very nice list on which vaccines contain what, and you can quite see that, and you see that all the scary chemicals that are supposed to be in vaccines, they're not really in the vaccines that that you would use.
Yeah, it's crazy, it's crazy. It's so it doesn't take more than 3 minutes on the internet to find that all of this BS that gets thrown around is nothing but BS. Come on, really?
Fuck a duck. If you look back in the 80s, when you had the advent of the microwaves, so you had the advent then of the microwave meals. You remember them, you remember the chemicals and the crap they used to put in those. And people were consuming those every single day, and some people were living on them. So you can see all the crap that was in those, and they're panicking about a tiny amount they're having a vaccine that they might have once or twice in their life. It just makes me honestly, it makes me laugh.
It's ridiculous.
Not just that, but all kinds of things that you go through life, and you're ingesting chemicals and pollution and all sorts of different things throughout your entire life. It adds up to far more than you can get in these vaccinations.
Oh yeah,
well,
exactly. Let's check with Aimee.
I know in real life who are most adamant about this, about health and stuff like that, and they go, completely, no processed foods, no vaccines, blah 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 blah, and then you're out with them on a Friday night and they spend a long time in the toilet. And it's like, oh, you okay? I was like, yeah, I just had a few lines of coke and taking a shot of vodka through the fucking eyeballs. Are you kidding?
Aimee's waiting here, guys. We got to get her in.
Thank you. Me Pet 69. Sorry. I would like to know how many Flurfs had parents that were also flatties. It's the current generation of kids I worry about. Quit asking me to sprinkle them titties says, and because Wakefield lost his medical license, he started pushing the anti-vax conspiracy for profit. Super Mommy 76 Advocate says, but you can find anti-vax in a long line at McDonald's drive-thru. Lol. Speaking of chemicals.
Oh yeah, that stuff. Holy, like, you ever see those pictures where McDonald's lasts for a year when you leave it out? That's crazy. Ouch.
That's
nasty.
gross.
Yeah. Chatty, I think we better get ourselves on track here. You want to serve some up for us?
On this way, my man.
All right.
All the terrible things that are going on. What could we do? I wonder every day. The game on the diamond was played out so that the accuser could not rule over man, but the law would. The accuser being the pitcher. The pitcher accuser stands upon the mound 66 Gilgul, or the place of the skulls. This is also the same spot as Masonic G in the square and the compass. So the accuser or the pitcher stands in the place of God, or the grand architect, as the Masons call it. The accuser's dominion is the cycles of birth and rebirth, and if you're counting, it's 60 feet, 6 inches away from home plate is the pitcher's mound. Can't make this stuff up. Accuser stands upon the mound to split the batter in two. He is trying to rule over the batter by accusing the batter or baiting him. The baseball represents...
This guy is talking bullshit. That's it.
Yeah, clean.
The guy is a fucking dick. He's another one of those people that is just trying to find something in nothing. Doing me head in. What a dickhead.
It gets old.
Get
Holy.
a grip. Oh my god. Do you know what? I might actually fucking make a spoof series where I find really daft and weird and wacky shit in nothing and show you how easy it's done.
Yeah.
You know, like Paris Hilton is a man because of this, and then show something completely different, and then just pick out a few random words, rearrange a few letters, and it's got, see? And it says, when you put it all together, Paris Hilton is a man.
I hate that crap. I hate that crap.
Innit, man?
Oh, man.
Come on.
Well, let's roll this. Let's roll this a little bit more and see if there's some kind of weird wrap up he comes to here. Let's see what we get.
Crack on.
Yeah, you know.
It's the pod, or the power of death.
It's going to be horrible.
The bat represents the whole of law, and by law the accuser is thwarted, so that he cannot use the power of death against the batter. The batter is like Job. He takes a side, but that leaves the other side unprotected. That is why the batter must be successful at least 1/3 of the time. Hence, 3 strikes and you're out. Abner Doubleday, the founder of baseball, means my father is light, and Doubleday explains himself. 3 measures of light to the inventor. He chose the name for a specific reason. Kabbalistically, the game was created as a ritual to make men ever vigilant against the accuser, and to innately know when he was in danger of tyranny because of the accuser, or the pitcher. Who's pitches us, folks? We get pitched on TV all the time with ads. Think about that one.
Yeah.
When you point the accusing finger, 3 fingers point back at you. The bat, the whole image of the law, and the ball, the power of the death, play out on a diamond, represents the 3-dimensional world of form.
Let's get a pause in here, and the conspiracy's got some.
Where the fuck did he come up with this?
Oh, fuck those, pal. Fuck those.
I'm trying to read along, and I'm going, where do you even come up with shit like this? What?
Don't get it. I tell you what, Jay, I am absolutely with you. Do you know what I mean? I'm the same. I'm like, come on, pal. I mean, really? Have you really worked? Because you have had to really work hard to come up with this elaborate fucking bullshit that means nothing and connect it to this fucking game.
Oh man, it does mean nothing. You ain't wrong there. Holy.
Yeah, but the effort to come up with nothing. Because, I mean,
those biblical references in there were freaking me out. This guy is just off the charts. Holy.
And can I point out, I hate any time that someone tries to make a logical argument and then brings Magic Sky Wizard into it. No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stays out of it.
So, who suggested this video again?
You're welcome. Yeah. So
We are all at the mercy of this Scotsman.
Tattie-Bogle.
Oh, okay. All right. I see.
Yeah, man. Yeah. That guy is trying to drive us mental. I tell
That's
you
how
what,
it is.
I actually reckon that he is a mole put in by the flat earthers to try and turn us all into flat earthers by bashing us with the maddest shit till eventually we're like, oh fuck, I can't take it anymore.
That's
You're right.
You're on to me. I need extracted. Pronto.
Well, what do you think, guys? Should we let it run till the end and then give it a big round table? We're just coming up on our 2 hours here. What do you think?
Absolutely. Fuck it. I think that's a good idea. No more pause. Let's see the end.
Yeah, let's marathon it. Oh, this is gonna hurt so bad.
Oh, fuck's sake.
When someone puts the power of death, in this case the ball, out of reach of judgment, that is the true seed potential and why the home run hitter is the ultimate hero of humanity. He has used the law to free himself of all tyranny, and in turn, anyone on the path at the time he has done, all becomes free to roam the paths. This is Kabbalistically the 32 paths of humanity that all became open to tread upon and travel. This is important because it allows all men to reach their fruition in their time and in their place. The timely hit allows a seed of potential to reach absolute fame and fortune, and this is the crux of the American dream. So to speak, Rogers, the Raja Hornsby, an original member of the Baseball Hall of Fame, is listed on a Masonic site. The baseball stars are Freemasons Grover Alexander, Ty Cobb, Carl Hubble, Branch Rickney, Honus Wagner, and Cy Young. Doubleday was a career United States Army officer and Union general in the American Civil War. He fired the first shot in defense of Fort Sumter, the opening battle of the war between the states. This happened on the northern 33 degree of latitude at Fort Sumter and is so noted in Masonic decipherings. This is how long this stuff's been going on, folks. By 1878, he was living in Mendham, New Jersey, from where that year he became a prominent member of the Theosophical Society. When two founders of the society, Helen Blavatsky and Henry Steele Olcott, moved to India at the end of the year, he was constituted as the president of the American Theosophical Body. In addition, he is known for his popular myth that he invented baseball, which has been debunked by almost all sports historians. The lore of baseball credits Doubleday with inventing the game, supposedly in Eli Finney's cow pasture in Cooperstown, William Cooper, New York, 1839. So I just wanted to share that with you. I'll put this in the notes. It gets a little deeper into it as well. But again, we're being played, bred in circuses. When we wake up, we'll realize that this has all been by a plan. And by waking up, we break the siegel, we break the black magic, we see with new eyes what they are doing, and they can no longer hold the power. This is why we need to look at this. We need to shine our light into the dark. All right, plain truth out, peace, love one another, and play ball!
Yeah.
Batter up.
Yes.
Oh, God.
Brilliant. I love that. Absolutely brilliant. Now fucking turn up. Stop that shit now.
Oh, what's
Sake, man. Right, end that shit, 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 end that shit.
Oh, God. Is it Oh, my God. Hollow deck.
You know. Fuck
Okay.
you know.
Fucking, first of all, not all astronauts are Freemasons. Women aren't allowed to be Freemasons.
Yeah, there you go.
None of them can be Freemasons.
And also, did you debunk yourself at the end by pointing out that Abner Doubleday didn't fucking invent baseball?
Yeah.
And also, sorry, on the Freemasons supposed to be in control of the establishment, and he talks about the Theosophical Society, who are held in, extremely low regard by the establishment, because if you are going to be a conspiracy nut, you have to be. You're going to have to be in favor of the Theosophical Society, because they came up with shit like homeopathy and stuff like that. So homeopathy is, as against the establishment. So please, can you be self-consistent?
Yeah, and try at least, right? And the conspiracy. What you got, buddy?
Well, I did. I was listening to what he was saying, and he said that Doubleday fired the first shot at Fort Sumter. Actually, Major Robert Anderson fired the first mortar shell at Fort Sumter.
I can't get anything right.
All I typed in was, who fired the first shot at Fort Sumter?
I was with Dead Kennedy on this. Like, I'm with Dead Kennedy. Like, why are you going to make a video about this guy who you say invented baseball, spent all this time saying all this, making up all this bullshit, only to say, but he didn't invent baseball? That doesn't make sense. Doesn't even make sense. Like, makes less sense than the rest.
Can I point out that at the end there, he was showing pictures of Shaquille O'Neal? Does he know Shaquille O'Neal doesn't play baseball?
I'm pretty sure he's not a baseball player. Also, by the way, he is saying Fort Sumter was, at the 33rd degree latitude. Actually, it's 32.7. Now, in number terms, that may, 32.7, pretty close to 33. But if you're actually talking about geographic terms, that's pretty fucking far.
Oh yeah, very good point, man. Very good. Hey, Spaceman, you're in, buddy.
Really, to be honest with you, it obviously when it comes to numerology, I mean, my eyes glaze over and I just kind of like, just don't honestly care. But I mean, look at baseball. I mean, like I think somebody said earlier on as well, was that who cares who invented baseball? So it's kind of like, okay, so I find out, you tell me who invented baseball and it's by the Masons. Is it going to affect my life? Nope. Don't care. I think most people will probably say that as well. You found some numbers. You found some numbers in the game and all the rest of it. 33 and God knows what else. Is it going to affect my life? No. Don't care.
Yeah.
Quite honestly. So an absolute waste of time putting that whole video together, because quite honestly, I think most people will share my views as well. Don't care. Really don't. Don't give a shit.
Yeah. Absolutely stupid.
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
Spaceman, was it you who brought up the statistic about how people don't really care about baseball anymore? It's like, that debunks the whole thing.
Yeah, that was Barman. Yeah, that was Barman.
That was Barman. My bad.
Yep. Yeah.
All you Middle Earth people sound the same to me.
No, we don't.
That's
but Anti-Flat is not here, so there's no Middle Earth people.
Yeah, because he's the true Middle Earther, right?
Yeah,
I mean, he's from the land.
I'm sorry, AB. All I heard was something Gandalf.
Well. Orc Sauron, Ent. That's all I have to say. I'm no tree.
Yeah. That was funny. That was funny. So who wants to sound off on this guy? Anybody got some?
Do you know what? I've got something to say on this geezer. This might surprise you, right? I'm gonna, give this guy credit. I'm gonna give him credit for the effort that he put into this video, the research that he did, and the fact that he actually, he had a lot to say.
Research?
And he said it. No, hear me out. And, he said it in chunks, right? Now, because I don't say a bit and then cut it and then say a bit. Everything I say, when I've got something to say in my video, I say it. And my longest rant today is 2 minutes and 40 seconds. That's my longest. Something to say, and then I cut, and then I put it in. I don't cut nothing. It's all said. And he done pretty well on that. And I commend him for that. But I have to give him the absolute fucking top draw for the fact that he put all that effort in to this really, to put all this info up, and it was absolute fucking bollocks. I mean, all that effort to just to say absolute shit, absolute deluded, fucking warped, fucked up, weird shit. And it's like, how could you go and make all the effort, do all that, just to come to the conclusion that it's bollocks and it means nothing and you should just fuck off?
Yeah, oh, that's the ending. Fuck off is right. John Rapp was in with an Australian $2 super chat. Thanks, John. I play baseball summer and winter. Doubly doomed. I like it.
That's the fucking one. That's the one. So that's it.
Me myself, you got to look at this guy. I mean, he just kept tacking it on. We went all around the fucking cage of stupid. We had numerology and everything in there. Really, the only thing that was missing was tarot cards and astronomy, and he would have hit the home fucking run.
That's my point. All that effort. That was my point. All that effort for bollocks.
Yeah, absolutely crazy. And he probably actually put research into that. It's amazing he came up with those conclusions.
Yes.
But I guarantee he actually did.
Yep, absolutely. Exactly what I'm saying. What a lot of fucking effort for a load of old bollocks.
So, anybody else need in? Anybody? Barman? Stevie Cup of Reason?
I don't think the guy's worth the fucking effort, because unlike Monkey, I'm not giving him any credit for being able to eat some magic mushrooms and come up with some wild fucking conspiracy theory that makes no fucking sense because none of it actually works with anything that's real. What's the fucking point in giving him credit for that? God, if I wanted to see that crap, I'd just go and watch the homeless people go down the road and fight. I mean, Christ, no. He's not worth the effort.
Oh, Stevie Cup, how about yourself, buddy?
All I gotta say is thanks for the fucking migraine. And, all the fucking effort in the world for a pointless, useless result still gets you a big fat goose egg on your test paper.
Exactly.
I enjoyed it, mate. My weekend.
How about you, Bull? Oh, sorry, Daddy. How about you, Bull?
I'm just astounded that somebody would put this much effort into saying nothing, because that's literally what he said was nothing.
Yeah,
it's meaningless.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's stuff that's meaningless and nobody cares about, right?
Exactly.
Right. Like less people are watching baseball now than ever. So
get in there.
I tell you what, though. That guy that I mentioned earlier, and I will put the link in the chat again, Derek Van Shake, who breaks down body language. I did put the link in the chat earlier. I'll put it again. He does Mark Sargent, destroys him, but he also breaks down whether the pitcher hits the batsman on purpose, and he shows you the difference. It's really, really good. He's a really smart guy. So I'm going to put that in the chat now. But I would like to give a shout out to Mr. Victory's little girl who loves us guys and hates derps as much as me. So
yeah, she's awesome.
Hi, hello.
Well,
I think
it's a round of cows.
That's right.
Absolute trouble.
Rocking.
That's amazing. Hey, how about Aimee Hogan? Aimee Hogan, you want to kick this guy in the teeth a couple of times before we're done?
You just call her Aimee Hogan?
Yeah, I totally fucked that up.
That's it. You're fired.
Yeah, yeah, I'm done. Oh my gosh, this guy is really Freemasons and baseball. It's just a freaking game, people. I mean, they take it so seriously. And somebody in the chat had said about how the whole field is flat except for the mound. They're right. You know, what a fucking idiot. Thank you.
Swear to God, man. If I ever hear Freemason one more time, I'll fucking stab the son of a bitch in the eyes 33 times with the Freemason compass and give him a good swift kick in the little G.
Freemason.
I'm coming for you.
Oh, I'm glad you enjoyed those wee videos, boys and ladies and gentlemen and everyone else and monkeys. Well, I enjoyed I enjoyed yours enjoying them.
Did we miss anybody? Did everybody get to sound off? Anybody got a last word on it?
Well, do you know what? I'm just going to say that I can't find the actual videos, but I'm going to put Derek Van Schake's channel and have a look at his channel. It's awesome. It's all about body language. I know it's a bit different, but he does Flat Earth and he does baseball. And there's all sorts. It's a really, really cool channel. And if you look, that's the sort of thing I like to look at because I'm a monkey, you know. Monkeys fucking read more than you think.
If you don't mind, Dick, I'd just like to remind everybody that tomorrow at 12 p.m. UTC, Logic and Reason, we're going to have AB Science and
oh
good
shit!
friend
I'm supposed to be on that.
That's right. AB Science and BM Furball. We're going to be talking about more about the scientific method and methods of research.
Oh, nice. That sounds excellent. Awesome. And there's also, I know the Casual Spaceman wanted to bring something up here before we get signed off. You all set and ready there, Spaceman?
Yeah, I just what I wanted to do is really get the help from your viewers and your audience, if I may. What to do is I'm actually toying, or I've been thinking about this for quite a while, is to do a regular slot, either a video or show or whatever, or combination of the both. Is do like a slot aimed at kids or young adults, if you like, or young people, aimed sort of like 10 to 14 years of age, and it's kind of like an educational videos or educational show, and it's all really kind of like the basics of the universe, the galaxies, the Earth, the sun and the moon, the planets and the stars and space travel and spacecraft and all the rest of it as well. So I'm not really 100% sure of how maybe to sort of how to present it. I'm not really I need some ideas for a name perhaps of the whole series. So it's going to be a regular thing, maybe once a week or every couple of weeks. So what I've done is I've put a community post on my channel. It's the most recent one. So if you can go there and comment on it and give me some ideas and things like that, that'd be great. Or you can hit me up on Discord, the same name, Casual Spaceman, or on Twitter, again, same name. Have you got any ideas, names, content, how to present it, what sort of things you'd like to see in it, and whether you think it's a good idea or not a good idea? It's been suggested a few times in the past, so that's why I'm sort of maybe looking to sort of start the ball rolling a little bit and see if that's got any legs. So yeah, your input would be most appreciated if you could.
Awesome. Well, I think it's a great idea. So, head on over to Spaceman's channel, community post and whatnot. Let's get some feedback in. I think it's a great idea myself. And we should remind everybody. We should remind everybody that movie night coming up, 11:30 p.m. Eastern time, I do believe it was changed to this week. There is a tweet out about it, but double check, but I'm pretty sure it's 11:30 p.m. for tonight. So remember that. Check your notifications. Make sure you get the reminder on and head over. I think we've got the shilling done. Have we, crew? Anybody got anything to say, or are we done?
One more from End of Conspiracy.
I got something.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so tomorrow night, I normally do my streams at 9 on Saturdays. Well, tomorrow night, I'm having my first discussion where I'm going to kind of moderate the chat. between Dallas Wade and Ross Burns on why one is Christian and one is not. So hopefully, if that turns out well, I hope to be doing more of those. So just give that a shot if you guys want to take. If you're interested in that thing, I know a lot of people aren't into the religious stuff, but the two gentlemen, really nice guys, both of them. One did a video, another one responded to it, and I said, hey, if you guys want to talk, you can jump on my channel, and they both agreed to it. So I got that going on tomorrow night instead of my normal time.
That sounds excellent.
What time's that? What time's that?
9 p.m. Eastern.
Okay.
What time's ours Eastern?
Where you're 5 hours ahead? What is it, like 2 in the morning?
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah,
because like I'm not working at the moment, so I can do that.
Yeah. So and then
fucking why not?
Yeah. So and that if you haven't checked it out, Hammer dropped a new video this morning.
Oh yeah, right on. Everybody head over for some Hammer.
Really? Oh shit, man. Do you know what? I haven't got
That came out wrong.
I always Hammer dropped it. I haven't got the notification, so that's a bit shit. But I'm gonna look for that. Yeah, that pisses me off, man. A few people say, "Oh, I've done that." I'm like, "Oh shit, I didn't get a notification." YouTube, you are a bunch of fuckers.
Oh yeah, the system's screwed up right now for sure. Absolutely.
But also, guys, I mean, we've all been able to shill out our stuff. But Dick, can you give us an update on the autism channel?
Well, that's going to be starting up probably the first or second week of February right here on the Shills channel as we transfer it over to being the new network that we're building. So our channel is going to transition to becoming the iNetwork, education, information, and entertainment. And we're going to have all kinds of shows coming up over the next 3 months. All really interesting, some really serious, some real fun, talk show, game show, logic and reason, nerdline news. There's an absolute shit flood of stuff that's going to be coming here, and I'm sure you're going to like it all.
Yes.
So, stay tuned and check it out as it comes.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, Eleanor's episode tomorrow will be its first on the iNetwork.
That's right, and we'll be rebranding tonight. So there you go.
Fuck yeah!
Exciting stuff.
Nice.
Does that mean I don't have to go in my cage tonight? Are we celebrating?
No. Well, later tonight.
You definitely have to go into your cage because we can't control you.
Oh,
no. As soon as he gets drunk.
Sorry, I'll make sure that
you still got to get me in there, and you know that's difficult.
Can I jump in real quick?
Yeah, Aimee.
Absolutely, baby.
Yes.
Jump
Thank
on me
you.
any quick as any as you like, baby. Jump on now.
Oh, thank you. You like the sheep, don't you?
Oh, yes.
We have a couple things, please. Don't forget Friday night, the movie night over on Cy Strike's channel. Please don't forget that. And also, Team Skeptic and Nathan Thompson are going to be debating in about 15 minutes, and that is going to be on Modern Day Debate. So don't forget those two things, please.
Awesome. Good shouts, Aimee. Right on. Well, 15 minutes. We better get the fuck out of Dodge so everybody has time to get more alcohol and get the hell over there. Awesome. So, on that note, let's give a big thanks to Casual Spaceman for sitting in as a guest shill tonight. You're the best, man.
Thank you. Thanks for having me on. Appreciate it. Really appreciate it. Thank you.
Love you, Spaceman.
And let's have a massive big thanks for End the Conspiracy, tonight's special guest.
Thank you so much, Jay.
Yeah, it's been a while. It was nice coming back.
Yeah, we have to get this on track for more often.
We need to catch up too, bro. We need to go forward.
Yeah, we do. Yeah.
Well, on that note, folks, we're out of here, I guess. It's been the Silly Shill Show Friday edition with us, the Shills, Casual Spaceman, and then the Conspiracy. We tore the living shit out of, I don't know what the hell his name was, and a fine truth for you. Fuck the both of them, right? We're done. Let's say goodnight, people. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.